I didn't see you there. Boo! I'm Ghost. Normally, I'm here to haunt you. But today I'm here to tell you about a very special program, The Great Baking Bash, which is on this Sunday at 3 p.m. on 2MB Studios. I myself will be watching with a hot cup of tea and some biscuits. This month's theme is tricks and or treats. Fun! Well, I've got haunting to do, but I'll see you there.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Boy Detectives Presents. My name is Anthony Zonfrelli.
Did you say what is ep?
Did I? This is going to be a fantastic show already.
Hey guys, I'm Will Van Answerth. This is Anthony Zonfrelli. Together we're the Boy Detectives. Presenting for you today, the Nicolas Cage draft. That's right, Nick Cage.
That's right. And we actually do have, before we begin, we have a video sent to us from last week. Matt, if you could please roll that video.
Ooh, Big Perp! First of all, I want to give thanks and love to our Lord and Savior, Grimace, out here, giving us that purple energy that we need, that Big Perp energy. We won this one, came down to the wire, but Big Perp did it. Just did it. Come on. Come on, we're the adversaries, but at the end of the day, come on, Big Perp!
That was tough to watch.
Well, we're going to have to win one of these sooner or later. This is not good. That was BJ, winner of the Twitter poll from the fast food draft last week.
I am sick of our guests getting to gloat on our next episode. Makes us look like idiots.
It does. It does. But speaking of guests, let's bring out ours for this week. With us tonight, drafting in the Nick Cage draft, we have John Serpico and Ashley Volz. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Cage heads.
How we doing? All right, so you both suggested Nicolas Cage drafts. We'll start with you, Ashley. What does Nicolas Cage mean to you?
Oh, God. Nicolas Cage, to me, is the perfect comedic and action hero that we all deserve. Maybe not the one we want, but the one we deserve.
Okay. John, do you have a specific Nicolas Cage memory or maybe favorite scene or movie that you appreciate from him?
Well, it was in the opening video, the scene from Mandy where he was in the bathroom in his underwear screaming, because in that moment he either knew exactly what he was doing or he had no idea what he was doing. And that uncertainty is what makes him brilliant. Like, he won an Oscar. He has an Oscar. And then he does stuff like that. So you have no idea. He's a total wild card. Every scene, every movie, doesn't matter. That's what I love.
Kind of the perfect encapsulation, if you will, of his acting style.
Pure chaos. Energy in a bottle.
Now, I know we did a lot of research this weekend, so let's get right to it.
Yeah, Matt, if you could please bring up my screen here. I'm going to start this off with a little 100-yard dash. I have our names in here. Let's determine some draft order. Seriously, I'm like very tense.
I'm so nervous.
Okay.
Because I'm so in over my head.
Go faster, me.
Let's go. Come on. What are we doing? We're
Come on. Oh my God. Yeah. All
What are you
right.
doing? What are you doing? Come on, sir.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Cross the damn line.
I want the turn. I want the turn now. Let me come in last. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
I'm upset.
You should be. Yeah.
Because so here's why I'm upset. My list is not as long as everyone else's, so I needed that extra round of 3 or 4 picks at the end is what I needed. But you know what? Let's ride. So we had I already forgot because I was so mad. Start first, Ashley second, myself,
Okay.
and then Will.
Bringing up the rear. Yeah, for everyone at home, we're going to be drafting 6 positions today. We're going to be drafting a QB, wide receiver, tight end, running back, kicker, and defense.
Yeah, and the defense is going to be the rest of the cast in a particular Nick Cage movie. You get everyone who's in that movie.
And
yeah,
why don't we run through our coaches and team names before we get started?
Sure. Will, go right ahead with yours.
Yeah, so just a little bit of a funny pun, really humorous stuff, combining my favorite Nick Cage movie and fantasy football. That's going to be Con Yards. And my coach is going to be Eleanor, the mysterious car that eluded Nicolas Cage so much in the classic Gone in 60 Seconds that really was a huge part of my childhood. And I looked up this weekend, it's got 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't know if their algorithm's broken or something, but
It is.
it's not okay.
Great. And mine, also really funny pun combining Nick Cage and fantasy football. Just really great stuff here. It's Onside Nick. My coach is the Dino Skull that Nicolas Cage bought for, I believe it was $150 million, only to find out it was stolen and have to give it back to the Mongolian government. I just think that having this as a coach, my players are going to learn from their mistakes, but also not be afraid to go big.
What movie is that from?
It is from real life, Will.
He's just as crazy in real life.
I haven't seen that one. When did it come out?
A few years ago. All right, John?
So my team is the Peach Eaters, named for the obscenely creepy line that he uttered in Face Off about being able to eat a peach for hours while staring down the barrel of the camera. And my coach is the Declaration of Independence, because that was Nick Cage's coach in National Treasure. And frankly, it should be all of our coaches when you think about it.
America.
Mm-hmm.
Great point. And Ashley?
Okay, my team name is Poonstruck. It's not so much a pun as it is combining poon and struck, like Moonstruck. You guys get it. And the coach that I've chosen is John Travolta, as possessed by Nicolas Cage in Face Off. Possessed is not the right word. John Travolta, I guess it's Nick Cage wearing John Travolta's face in Face Off.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get too deep into it, I watched Face Off again yesterday. Holds up. But could they have found 2 actors with more opposite bodies?
Yeah,
they explain that away. They explain that away.
Yeah, they put a lampshade directly over this. Like, oh yeah, no, we'll stuff some cotton batting under your shoulders to. Yeah.
I guess my question was Shaquille O'Neal and Wee Man not available?
Honestly, even more different than how they looked is how they acted. Like, John Travolta is a horrendous actor, and Nicolas Cage is
insane.
So I'd rather.
His character was insane, so he didn't have to reach.
Yeah, that was right down the middle of the plate for him. So to watch John Travolta try to do that stuff in like the second hour of the movie, just heartbreaking. He just didn't have it.
All right. Well, with that expert analysis, Serp, would you do us the honors of making the first selection of the Nick Cage draft?
Oof. So the problem being first overall is there are going to be 6 picks between me and round 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought a lot about this. I had a scenario in place for what's the name that this season gets built around, and I feel like it has to be Con Air Nick Cage, Cameron Poe, starting wide receiver.
Wide receiver, interesting.
I had him at running back, but let's hear it.
I also did. Sir, why? Sir?
He was my first pick for running back.
So I had him as either a wideout or a running back. I think there are other Nick Cage running backs that could fill that hole. I don't think there are that many Nick Cage wide receivers. And so I went with the Nick Cage that was in the absolute best shape of Nick Cage's life. He did spend all of that movie running around or seatbelted into a chair. And also, me drafting him as a wide receiver takes the rest of the cast of Con Air out of the defense and special teams conversation, because you got a lot of big bodies in there, and I want to take Con Air off the board.
I was unaware that did that, and that is upsetting.
I don't believe that it does.
That's not the rule.
Not the rule, John.
Here's hoping Con Air is on the board again.
It's still on the table for defense. How dare you?
And they were not on my defense list, and they are now being moved to number 1.
Of course they are.
They're monsters. You look at
John, you did that. They weren't even on his list, John. Jesus.
All right.
John, with one pick, you've destroyed 2 of my drafts.
All right. Ashley, you are up.
Okay, and I've really gone back and forth on this a lot. I want to tell you the amount of time I spent thinking and talking about this is too much. And I'm going to go with what I'm told is a weird choice and draft my quarterback first. And I'm going to go with Nick Cage from Next.
Oh, God, that's such a good pick.
Now, walk us through your reasoning on this pick.
So Nick Cage from Next can see 2 minutes into the future. And then as soon as he does is snap back into present time and can see what the right choice to make is.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
I haven't seen Next. That seems like maybe the greatest pick in the history of our draft.
Yeah.
If I didn't get that pick, I was going to lose my mind, and I said that to several people.
So I didn't pick him first overall because I'm like, who here is going to pick
Ashley.
the 2007 flop Next about a race Vegas magician? Whew. But yeah, he is going to go. Every game will be 50 for 50 with 50 touchdowns.
I don't see how I will win just based on that pick.
Well, folks, a pleasure. We're going to pack this one in.
Now, all right. So now I'm on the clock here, and I think I'm going to go with a running back. I want someone with both power and speed. Speed clocked at nearly 200 miles an hour on screen.
Damn it.
I'm going to go with Nick Cage from Ghost Rider as my running back.
Oh.
That's a shame.
Man. And Will's screaming gives me so much delight.
In hindsight, picking a very jacked but entirely normal Nick Cage first overall, terrible choice.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I did have Con Air Nick Cage first on my board, and looking back, I absolutely should go with the Satan-possessed flaming skeleton Nick Cage over human man Nick Cage.
Caveat here: if when you draft a Nick Cage, you get the Nick Cage with all the accoutrements, right? So you're not just getting Johnny Blaze; you're getting Johnny Blaze on his hell motorcycle.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
right. Like tackling him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings it to me to close out the first round, and I'm going to go with maybe a little bit of a controversial pick, but I am a host of the show. So I am going to take at wide receiver Noir Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
I knew he wouldn't last.
Yeah. God damn it.
I knew he wouldn't last.
Where are you slotting him in, Will?
I'm slotting him at wide receiver because beyond the obvious that he's just going to be able to reel in all the balls with his sticky fingers, he can go up and get balls. He can shoot the web and catch balls that are badly underthrown, overthrown, wherever you want to throw it. You want to throw that ball straight up in the air, he can shoot his web and he can grab it, keep going. So
that's a great point.
I mean, most stadiums do not have a situation where you can kind of, keep swinging around. Maybe in like Jerry World, you can go to the, the big display hanging over midfield. even if it's just like normal athletic ability plus the web, I think that's enough to make him the number 1 wide receiver on the board.
Yeah, he was really high on my board. I specifically made him not quarterback because with the inability to see color, I think that would make it hard to differentiate the defense when dropping back to pass.
Yeah, that's tricky. It's just a sea of sepia tones out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is actually a great point. Now, so that wraps up the first round, and then I get to go again. But before we do that, going to do a little bit of a can check.
Can check.
What's going on, folks? Can check. What's everybody drinking? I got a little boom sauce from Lord Hobo. Finish up a mix pack me and Anthony started on Saturday.
That's right. I'm rocking a Shipyard with the cinnamon sugar rim.
How is that a Nick Cage can check appropriate fucking drink?
I honestly needed a real clear head for this, so I'm going Tower Root Beer, Somerville, Massachusetts. And considering how many medieval wizards Nicolas Cage has played, I feel like any drink with a tower on it is appropriate.
I'm going with Bud Light because I mean it's Nick Cage, but also because Nick Cage is crazy, a shot of tequila.
There you go.
Hell yeah. I believe that's the first shot taken on Boy Detectives Presents.
Glad I could be that trailblazer for you guys.
Going down in history.
Okay. This one is going to be tough, but I think I've got to do it. And that, even though, you know, it's one of his more recent movies, probably not one of his more watched movies, I'm going to go with Red Miller from Mandy. The opening scene. I know he's not going to be there by the time it gets back to me the next round, and I want him at tight end.
That's also where I had him, you motherfucker.
Well, he's got that Mark Bavaro energy from like the Halcyon days, the New York Giants. Big, angry, you know, we'll play whistle to whistle.
I mean, let's can you bring up my screen, Matt? Like this sort of insanity, like a blood-drenched smile is exactly the kind of intensity I'm looking for out of the tight end position. I want you to be a little bit crazy. And then obviously, you know, he beat some demons in a chain fight, and you know, he plays with a fire because his girlfriend got lit on fire. So I think all of that makes him far and away the best tight end on the board.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Good point.
And he plays younger. He was like 60 in that movie. He plays younger though. Keeps himself in great shape.
Yeah. Not to mention, how are you going to fight off a block from this man when he's going at you with a chainsaw?
I gotta say, my concern with that pick is that he's just literally not going to play football. Like he's just going to do whatever he wants, guys. Like he's just not going to play football.
I mean, how is that different from any of these?
Thank you, thank you, Anthony. Nick Cage plays by his own rules, so we're operating under we can wrangle him in for about 60 minutes on a Sunday.
It's like, Red Miller, I need you to chip the defensive end and then get out into space. No, gotta kill the Colt. It's like, well, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes they kill the Colt, sometimes they chip the end. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, you got options.
Okay. God, I have others that I think I want on my team more, but I'm staring at this person, and I have to take him at wide receiver. I have to take Castor Troy from Face Off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe he fell to number 6, and I just feel irresponsible not to take him at this point.
But it's like the Con Air pick. It's like it's a big name, and he's a normal, if weird guy who's in pretty good shape. But like,
sure, yes, but it's another one where he's completely unhinged, and like, how do you predict? You know, okay, so you say, okay, he's lining up on the outside. Okay, he's probably going to run a fade route. No, he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. How do you cover that?
Again, that could apply to all Nick Cage.
Every Nick Cage. That's fair. That's fair.
He'll run a post, or he'll steal a boat and try to kill John Travolta. You don't know.
Matt, can you cut to my screen real quick?
Would you like anything else once we're airborne?
Oh, Peach. Sit. Come here.
How could he resist her in that pantsuit, honestly?
You know, I can eat a peach for hours.
Wow. Why would you do that?
He's basically Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
He's basically Antonio Brown. That just solidified that pick in my mind.
But you know what it is?
Thank you for playing that.
Castor Troy sells tickets. Castor Troy sells tickets. Cameron Poe fills stadiums, you know?
Quite literally the face of my franchise.
Yeah.
My mom just texted me, I've got to take Randy from Valley Girl. So everybody know. And then she wrote it in the chat.
You have no choice now.
Yeah. So
Yeah, well, I don't think
Thanksgiving if you don't.
Well, I don't think he's gonna make it out of round 3.
Yeah. Well,
You might have to pull the trigger early.
yeah. Well, yeah. Definitely going to pull it on Valley Girl. All right, Ashley.
Okay. I'm going to go with a wide receiver, and I am going with Randall Memphis Reigns from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yep.
Suck it. I know you guys were all trying to get him next round.
Yep.
No, I had him at quarterback. Why don't you explain to me why you think he'd be a great wide receiver?
Well, I got to tell you, I want to be honest with you guys. I did have to look up the difference between all the different players that catch the ball and their attributes, because I honestly didn't know there was a difference. I thought it was like someone who throws the ball, and then there's the people who catch the ball, and then there's the people who tackle people. And that's really where I was at before the show. From what I understand, they have to be very fast. And so that felt like an obvious thing.
Sure.
I'm sold. All right, sir.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of supernatural picks, a lot of superhero picks. I think I have to do the same here. At quarterback, the original Merlinian himself,
Damn it.
Sorcerer's Apprentice, Nicolas Cage, Balthazar Blake.
Have you seen Sorcerer's Apprentice?
It is awful. But you know what? But here's the thing. He's over 1,000 years old, so you know he's got experience. Also, I'm pretty sure his magic could end the Earth. So
He's basically Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, he's Vinny Testaverde. He's 80 years old and has a lot of connections. So, yeah, I feel good about that.
That's solid. That's solid. I feel like there's a lot of good QB picks, or at least I thought that before going into this. And then next went, and now Sorcerer Apprentice went, and I'm like, fuck, those are all way better than my quarterback options.
So now you're all telling me, because I'm coming back around for the third, that you can cast like a Nicolas Cage, but the rest of the movie is still on the board for the defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way to give it away again, John, what you're about to do.
Yes.
Just making sure.
You've ruined 2 defensive line picks now Will probably hadn't thought of.
So I have to, I gotta shore up the team. So I'm going to go with, it's just not as funny though. I'm going to go with,
You played a win.
You know what? Screw it. Defense, special teams. I want to go with the rest of the cast of Into the Spider-Verse.
That's really smart. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You have a literal army of both superheroes and supervillains. You know, it's great to have. It's great to have a Spider-Man as your wide receiver. It's even better to have multiple Spider-Men as your defensive backfield.
You also have every person from every universe.
Yeah, as also
As
my
your
defense
defense.
special teams is probably 30 to 40 billion people, some of which have superpowers.
That feels like a reach, but no.
Yeah, defense in the third round. What is this?
You really wanted the Spider-Verse, I guess.
Oh my god. No, I mean that's good. And as Beef Wellington points out in the chat, you got Kingpin and nose tackle. That's game over. Who's gonna run up the middle on
I
that?
was worried about your rush defense, to be honest, but Kingpin is a great point.
Kingpin anchors that line.
It's true.
All right.
He's Vince Wilfork.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ashley.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. I am going to go with Jesus. All right, I'm going to go with a tight end, and I'm going to go with his character from Kick-Ass,
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Mm.
Also had him at tight end.
Yeah, it just seems like I feel like we don't even need to say that his character is insane, right? Because every single character Nick Cage is
Each one, yep.
is insane. But I do feel like his character is more insane. Like he trains his teenage daughter to fight to become a vigilante superhero.
My notes on Big Daddy was I would only be drafting him as tight end, and also he has a gun, which is super valuable if you're a tight end.
Sure is. I watched the scene today where he literally shoots his daughter in the chest with a bulletproof vest on to teach her not to be afraid.
Matt, why don't you pull up my screen real quick? Speaking of which,
You're gonna be fine, baby doll.
You see what I mean? See what I mean?
Fearless tight end.
You want that, yeah. That man is stopping at nothing to get that ball in the end zone.
The thing is, that's an older Nick Cage. It's an older Nick Cage, but also gun makes up for it in a lot of ways.
I mean, I gotta say, if we're including gun as part of the package deal, Serp, a lot of these guys have guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention Kick-Ass dies by fire, right? So I feel confident having Ghost Rider on my team.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
Ooh.
matchup there.
Well, I mean, I guess they're both on offense, not at the same time. So
They're both on the hands team, though. If the game comes down to like a Hail Mary into the end zone, you want a guy that's wreathed in demonic flame.
all right. As a tight end, I haven't been more confident in a pick yet.
Ooh.
From a tight end, I'm going to take Nick Cage from the movie Croods.
What?
Wow. Yeah. Yep.
I'll pull up a picture here.
I'm gonna need explanation on that one, yeah.
Actually, you're completely unfamiliar with the movie Croods?
No, I just want to know why you picked it.
Because he's enormous fucking caveman. Look at the size of that human.
All right, yeah, that's fair. You know what? I hadn't seen the photo of him next to actual Nicolas Cage. Like, in my mind, he was just a short, squat caveman cartoon. But now that I see how big he is IRL,
I feel like his 40 time at the combine is like north of 10 seconds, but also like if you find him in space, who's going to tackle him?
Exactly.
Yeah, smart pick.
okay, does that bring it to me?
Sure does.
You bet it does. Okay, so let's see. I have a wide receiver and a tight end. I've got my pass catchers down, which means I think it's time for me to invest in a running back. And I want a healthier, younger, more spry Nick Cage. I want Nick Cage with proven elusiveness, and he runs around like his hair is on fire. Matt, can you cut to my screen? We are taking H.I. McDonough, running away from the cops here in Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
Look at this agility and athleticism.
I can't deal with this pick for you.
Boom. Okay. So McDonough is maybe the most athletic version that we've seen of him, because he's like 25 in that movie. He's got a lot to prove. And I think that, as you can see in the film, as he runs away from the cops and escapes successfully, spoiler alert, he's got a lot of elusiveness. Okay.
Fair enough.
So there
Nick Cage from Con Air dragged a plane. So
well, I'm not looking for a weight room warrior, all right? I want someone to prove it. They keep running top speed when it matters, and this guy ran full speed down the street and outran a cop car.
Cameron Poe has a tactical mind. He's not just like a beast in the gym. Like, the guy can run. I think he could read routes. He dropped a car out of a plane. I mean, he could do it.
I'm not sure he can read, period, but I bet he can try.
Okay. So now that we got the jokes out of the way, good job, everybody.
Now on to the serious business of joylessly drafting.
So I will say this is a very important part of the draft. We are exactly halfway through, and I believe there is like a very large cliff about to happen.
Yeah.
And I might start that, Cliff, because I need my quarterback, and I am going to go with Nick Cage as Yuri Orlov from Lord of War. A man with more guns than every other Nick Cage in this entire draft combined. That's right. He's a gunslinger.
Is your quarterback?
This is an insane pick.
Good. Jesus.
I did it mostly for the gunslinger pun.
Yep.
He literally plays the gunslinger.
Slings guns to bad people.
I feel like Will is single-handedly saving me in this draft.
Yeah, he is sabotaging himself, but I'll take it.
I think that in one scene you could say he had a cannon for an arm.
Oh my god.
So we've just to look at Will's team here, we have Noir Spider-Man, which is the weakest Spider-Man, as your wideout. 18-year-old tight end that is clearly preoccupied. You have this is pre-push-ups Nick Cage as your running back, and then a 40-year-old guy that always wears a suit as your quarterback.
I guess my question to you is: picture yourself as a defensive end, and you go to sack the quarterback, and he shoots you with his wide selection of guns that he keeps on him at all times.
Well, they all have guns.
think
We've
he's
established they all have guns.
Yeah, but he has more guns. He has more guns and more bullets.
Yeah, you can use all of them at the same time.
Really, when you draft Yuri Orlov, you're also drafting like a wagon he keeps behind him full of guns.
Yeah, that's right. So when we're in the midst of the fourth quarter, when everyone's beleaguered and tired and they're out of guns.
Why do you think
you know he can run a very
shooting match?
You don't have to worry about my quarterback, who has an endless supply of guns.
He'll run the 2-minute drill, no huddle, out of the shotgun with a shotgun.
Nobody's worried about your quarterback, Will. Don't worry.
The chat saying you only need one gun is the stupidest thing. Guns only hold a fixed number of bullets. If you run out of bullets, which he also has an unlimited number,
someone cut Will off.
Shit out of luck. So he's got unlimited guns.
Can we mute him?
Bullets.
Do we have the technology?
This retroactively makes my bulletproof Spider-Verse defense pick all the better.
Yeah.
What are they bulletproof?
Well, they move around real fast. Also, I don't think Kingpin can die.
I think Matt just muted me for a second because I was going to go up there.
Good. Justice.
All right, let's move the pick on.
All right. So I know this is what they call a negative EV pick in the biz, but I'm going to take a kicker here because this might be a controversial pick. As my kicker, I'm going to take actual Nick Cage. I'm taking Nick Cage, the man, because I found an old interview of him where he comes out like a fucking maniac. That's easily the best kicker in the league.
That's a 60-yarder leg on him.
Right? He's got the distance.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep coming back. This is gonna be our new exploding bird.
This video, I have so many follow-up questions. Is there smoke on the ground?
Can I somehow make that silent GIF my ringtone?
Oh my god.
Okay.
I had to pick him because if I didn't get him, I would have.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. I'm gonna go with my running back. I'm torn. This is a tough decision. Whew. All right, I am gonna go with Nick Cage from City of Angels, actual angel who can fly.
So smart. That was my pick. Damn it.
So I feel like he's an actual angel. He is invisible when he wants to be, and he can fly. So
yeah, all great aspects of a running back here.
Yeah, and he's an angel, so there's no injury risk because he can't die.
Can't die.
That's so smart, super smart pick.
And just to be clear, this is pre-fucking City of Angels Nick Cage. Because as we know, he does fall from heaven, have sex, and then become human.
Well, to be fair, do we know that actual Nick Cage can die?
No, we do not.
We do not. We have no evidence of that.
Hasn't died yet.
But that being the basis, we don't know that none of us can die.
I was just thinking that actually.
I'm operating under the assumption that I'm immortal.
We're gonna live forever.
Tough to say who you'd rather have. H.I. McDonough, who stole a baby, or an actual angel.
Yeah, well, your picks are garbage.
All right. So with my number 1 running back off the board with City of Angels, I'm going to have to go to my number 2 running back. I want a real bruising back. I want someone that runs with ill intentions. So I'm going to take Drive Angry Nicolas Cage.
Ooh, that's a good one. That was on my list for. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in a car. He's angry. He drives angry. He's a downfield runner.
You don't know anything about this movie, do you?
Point to someone on this earth that actually got Drive Angry. I'm going to shake their hand.
I just read the plot synopsis. I'm not going to pretend I watched it.
All right, and now for tight end, this is going to be a bit. So I'm going for tight end round 5. This is going to be a bit of a name pick, but also I want someone that can be like another coach on the field, someone smart, someone that can read the defense, someone that can find holes. So I'm going to go with Benjamin Franklin Gates at tight end. National treasure, Nicolas Cage. If he can steal the Declaration of Independence and kidnap the president, he can also get past a linebacker.
Also a tight end on my board.
Yeah, good pick.
100% had him as a quarterback.
If I didn't have an actual immortal wizard at quarterback, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If I have someone who could see into the future, he was going to be my friend.
That's the pick of the draft. I know we got rounds left. That's the pick of the draft. That's so good.
Damn.
I'm mad at how good that pick was, actually.
Thank you, and I couldn't be happier that I got it. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
It is, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with my defense. And even as of this moment, I am waffling. But I am going to go with all the other guys from Con Air.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to take it. I got to take it.
Good.
Okay. All right. Good.
I mean, my other one is really good too, but yeah, I'm going to go with that.
You've got a Ving Rhames, Danny Trejo linebacking core. That's huge.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, Buscemi has deceptive speed in the backfield. Yep. Like that's,
Upon reflection, I'm actually disappointed I didn't make Buscemi my coach. He is my favorite character in that movie.
And how is John Cusack able to drive the same speed as the plane in that movie? If you could figure that out, that makes
him ask questions about that defense.
Well, I think they established early on in the movie that it is a very fast car.
And a very slow plane.
Those are old cargo planes. They don't go as fast as Miles O'Brien's, fancy car.
Yeah, they go 45 miles an hour flying.
Mm-hmm. What rush are they in,
It's just cargo.
Yeah.
Anthony.
All right. So I am in desperate need of a quarterback. Luckily, I do still have one on the board. I mean, as much as you want one of those, smart, see-ahead quarterbacks that can read defenses, sometimes a quarterback with wheels is just as good, which is why I'm going to go with a man literally named Dr. Stanley Goodspeed from The Rock.
Yeah. He's got good speed.
It's also like one of Nick Cage's quintessential parts.
Mm-hmm.
So you like having the face of the franchise as
Yeah.
your quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't put him on my list because he wasn't athletic at all. But
He's a cop and he's got a gun.
Yeah.
And if it's at the end of the movie, he also has a couple of those like green grenades full of like face melting goo.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to try to bring him down on a scramble if he can melt your face with goo? You
If
know?
he's carrying those things, if he's carrying face melting goo, I'm not playing. The game is forfeit.
Well, I think that's a great transition to my next pick, which is going to be my defense, which is going to be the entire rest of the cast from The Rock.
Yeah, that was my
There you
second
go.
choice.
Sure.
Yep. So you get, I mean, in my list, I didn't realize that you only picked, you got to everybody, because I'll just take Sean Connery. That's fine. If you just want to give Sean Connery is my defense, that's enough for me. But if you're going to give me all the other Marines in the VX gas, I'll take that too, I guess.
There you go.
Starting strong safety, 8 tons of VX gas.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Good luck trying to run it up the middle with my middle linebacker that'll literally kill everybody on the field. Okay.
Not mad at
All right,
that.
Will, your last pick.
And my last pick, so the first guy to wrap up the team, this one's going to be a little bit controversial, so I've got a video accompaniment, Matt. I am going to pick Nick Cage from The Wicker Man as my kicker,
Yeah.
based solely on this right here. Ready? That's a hell of a kick. Look at her. Look at her. He kicked her to death.
That's good. That's good.
He kicked
God.
him to death.
So, if there's one thing I want from a kicker, it's having the leg strength to kick a woman to death.
Someone get that audio clip.
Oh, God.
And with that, let's move on.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I need a defense to round my team out, and my top 3 defenses have all been taken, which means I have to go with the bees from Wicker Man as my defense. Because that's all that there's left. I realized that I could have everyone in the cast from Wicker Man, but I think just the bees would do the trick.
Yeah.
Matt, can you cut to my screen real quick? Yeah, as you can see, bees from Wicker Man right there on my list. I love the pick.
Thank you, Will. All right, Ashley.
Okay, it's my last pick, my kicker. And ooh. All right, I'm scrolling through these. Ooh. All right. Okay. This is an odd pick, but hear me out. Hear me out. I'm gonna go with Nick Cage from Family Man.
Okay.
Because he can see 2 different outcomes to all of his choices. Not unlike Next, where you can see 2 minutes into the future, but he can actually see at least 2 different outcomes to his choices. So I feel like that's going to give him an edge as a kicker. I don't have a clip of him kicking a woman to death. So I understand that my justification might not pass muster.
But you're saying you could see him being like, okay, what if I aim left? Oh, no, too windy. Better aim right.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Fair.
Can he control it though in Family Man?
Really hard to say, Will, shut up. I think he can't control it. I think he sees 2 different options either way. So it's probably a real headache for him every time he has to kick, but he only has to do it a couple times a game. So
Final question. What if he sees that his life after missing the kick is much better?
great question. And I do not have an answer for you. He might throw the game if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I see him throwing the game. That's true. Damn it.
The end of the replacements.
Oh my God, it's like Mr. Baseball all over again.
John. Finish us up here.
Mr. Irrelevant here. So The eventuality that I would be picking a kicker with the last overall pick in the draft has revealed itself. So I have a plan for this because this is going to be a true redemption story, and also because he's missing a hand, which allows him to focus more on his feet. I am going to pick Moonstruck Nicolas Cage, Robbie Camerari. Absolute fan favorite. You're rooting for him the whole time. He lost his hand, he lost his bride, but he's gonna win your hearts.
I love that justification. He just spent more time focusing on his feet.
Yeah. Just he could focus more energy downward.
I know who my kicker pick is going to be in my Daniel Day-Lewis draft.
Oh my god.
All right. Let's walk through our teams here and see how we ended up. Serp, would you mind taking us through your team?
Sure. So I started with far too mortal of a pick by picking an actual human Nick Cage as my wideout, but I think he's going to fill the stands. Mm-hmm. I'm very pleased though. I have a wizard as a quarterback. I have an army of superheroes as my defense. I've got a dude in a car as running back. I've got the smartest man in the world at tight end, and I've got a fan favorite at kicker. I'm feeling real good.
That's solid. That's a solid team, sir. Ashley.
All right, over here on Poonstruck, we as QB have next, guy who can see 2 minutes into the future. So needs no explaining. It's obviously an amazing pick. My wide receiver, gone in 60 seconds. He's fast, y'all, and determined. And he will have sex with a white woman with white woman dreads. You know what I mean? He has no shame. He'll just get in there and do it. I have kick-ass Nick Cage as my tight end. He's crazy. He'll shoot his daughter in the chest, and he's going to get the job done. At running back, City of Angels, Nick Cage. He's invisible. He's an actual angel, and he can fly. My defense is the entire rest of the cast of Con Air, a bunch of huge, crazy inmates. Enough said. And then for kicker, we got Nick Cage, family man, who can see multiple outcomes to his kicks. Although, as mentioned, there is a chance that if he misses the kick, his life turns out better and then he intentionally misses the kick. But I feel like even that being my weakest pick, it's still a pretty strong pick.
And you know what? I mean, I think just having a quarterback with the powers of the Nick Cage from Next means you're probably not going to be kicking a lot of field goals anyway.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about
just
it.
Win. You know what I mean? If you just win, you don't have to do that.
It'd be all touchdowns and 2-point conversions.
That's right. That's I mean, stats say you should go for 2 anyway, so I think Ashley's going to win. All right, my squad here. I start off with Ghost Rider at running back. Literally clocks at 199 miles an hour on the movie. He's a possessed demon that turns engulfed in flames and rides a motorcycle. Wide receiver, I have Castor Troy from Faced Off, who is just an unhinged fucker who you can't control.
Well, it's lots of language, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, children who tune into Brave Detective Presents.
So all you 10-year-old Mandy fans out there.
At tight end, I have an enormous caveman from The Croods, which we saw his full-size photo. Kicker, we have actual Nick Cage, who I think is probably the steal of this draft. Quarterback, I have Nick Cage from The Rock. And my defense is the Bees from Wicker Man, which have the ability to severely impact a Nick Cage, as we saw in Wicker Man.
All right. Okay. So I guess I'll round it out. Team Con Air Yards, as we established, very funny pun related to fantasy. I love it. Coach Eleanor, mysterious, fast, and gets you in a little bit of trouble, but don't we all like that? So started off a wide receiver. We got Noir Spider-Man. A lot of athleticism and the ability to get the ball all over the field. Sticky hands too. Tight end, We got Red Miller from Randy. He's a crazy motherfucker.
You say from Randy?
His name's from Randy.
Did you say Brandy? Did you try to correct yourself and say Brandy?
So Nicolas Cage from Brandy. He's crazy. He fights demons. He's got a chainsaw, and he's exactly what you want at the tight end position. Running back, we went back to mortal Nick Cage, but he's fast as hell, and he plays with his hair on fire. That's going to be H.I. McDonough, Hi McDonough from Raising Arizona. And he's got an edge because he was incarcerated many times. Quarterback, we got our man Yuri Orlov from Lord of War. He's a real gunslinger. Defense, we've got everybody else from The Rock. So, it's very cute that you think your bees will stop the opposing offense. I have a nerve agent.
Yeah.
They will kill the bees and everyone in the stadium.
What a great game it was.
A lot of draws and ties when you play Will's team.
A lot of forfeits. I'm not showing up for that one. I told you.
And a kicker, we don't need to see the video again, but we know he's a great kicker. Okay. Well, this was a ton of fun. Now, this is the point of the draft where we like to talk about maybe some people that you kind of wish you drafted, someone left on your board. Ashley, you're nodding along. Why don't you start us off?
Hold on. I got to pull up my very extensive spreadsheet. Someone who didn't get picked that I was really into. Let's see. All of my top ones. Oh, you know what? Teen Titans. He was Superman in Teen Titans. Mm-hmm. So it was on my second list of top picks, but also those were an option for my defense. If Con Air and The Rock got chosen, I was going to go with the Teen Titans defense. Also, Matchstick Men Roy Waller was one of my options for QB. If I didn't get next, which I would have thrown a huge fit, set the computer on fire. But assuming I didn't, I would have picked him because he's a con artist. Genius con artist. It felt like a good pick for QB.
Tricky, tough to read.
Sir, anyone else you missed out on?
I mean, they have no athleticism at all. But the fact of the matter is, if you get adaptation Nick Cage, you actually get two Nick Cages for the price of one. I was thinking as like a backup to the backup tight end because you can get your receiving tight end and your blocking tight end. You could have each Nick Cage specialized, but also in that movie, he is like old and despondently sad and very out of shape. So I couldn't even put him on the practice squad.
Yeah, I almost put him in so we could run some 11 personnel, but he literally wears a fat suit in it, I'm pretty sure, which does not bode well.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one.
I had a couple defenses I was toying around with. I know I lied when I said Wicker Man Bees with all I had. I just wanted to cover my ass in case you thought it was a dumb pick. I had the cast of Knowing, much like Ashley's pick with Next. Where the quarterback can see into the future. We have if we have the cast of Knowing, we have the girl who knows all of the answers to everything and all of the catastrophic events. And I toyed with the idea of choosing the rest of the cast of the upcoming Tiger King project, which would have meant I would have just had a bunch of tigers.
It's like an army of tigers.
Yeah,
pretty good. Quick question: how do tigers do with nerve agents?
Well, nobody does well with nerve agents. Nobody's coming.
Okay. Just checking, because everybody.
I think you know what? If anyone, maybe the bees have a shot. They might not be developed enough for it to affect them.
The nerve agent is really making up for a lot of shortcomings on Will's team.
And I want to be clear. The rest of his team is shortcomings.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you sit here and slander either Mandy, Randy. New Orleans Spider-Man was the number one wide receiver on the board, and everybody knows it.
Yep. It was an okay pick. It was an okay pick.
That was good. That was a good pick. I'm not mad at that.
Okay, so I guess I'll quickly tie it up as we're running out of time. Nicolas Cage from Vampire's Kiss, I had as a backup running back.
I had him as a kicker.
Because, well, what's your concern with running back? That they get hurt and, they're not able to play?
Will, he's not a vampire in that movie, right? He thinks he is. He's going insane.
All right, well, I'm glad I did.
And that's why he was low on your draft board.
At quarterback, I know no one taking him has broken my mom's heart because she texted me about it. There's in the chat multiple times. Randy from Valley Girl was the number 4 quarterback on my board behind a few guys that were drafted, including the Lord of War man. And at defense, I just had alcoholism from Las Vegas.
Oh, God.
That would have affected a lot of our Knicks.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one.
And World Trade Center. So
this has been the Nick Cage draft.
Yeah, he was a first responder in one movie.
This has been thank you so much for it again. John Serpico and Ashley Volts. We'll be posting these draft results on Twitter where you can vote on your favorite team. Big round of applause. Thank you for joining us, John and Ashley.
Thank you so much for having us.
Please subscribe to 2MB Studios. Follow our Twitch page. We do have another show coming up right after this, Interesting Points, hosted by Josh Poirier. And
That's right.
Will, anything else?
No.
All right. This has been Boy Detectives. I wish we had a catchphrase.